guys, so it is the end of June now, and that means it's time for my monthly book haul. I've decided to just do monthly book hauls instead of like 2 or 3 throughout the month. So I'm going to format this haul a little bit differently, and I am going to divide it up into sections based on genre. So as you can see, all right here, very pretty rainbow. So if you're not interested in seeing me haul contemporaries or nonfiction, you can skip to different points of the video where I talk about certain genres. So I thought that would be really fun, and this isn't going to be here the whole video, but in the description bar I will also have links to each genre's section. So if you're like in the middle of the video and you want to skip to another section, you can just go into the description bar, click that link, and it'll take you there. And I thought this would be really fun. So go ahead and click on any of these links if you're not interested in me hauling contemporaries, because that is what I'm going to start with. So the first book I have to show you is No One Else Can Have You by Kathleen Hale. And this has been catching my eye for a little while now. So this girl gets murdered in this small town, and her friend is trying to figure out who did it. And it's really difficult to figure out who did it because this is like a town of less than 700 people. So it's like everyone's kind of a suspect because everyone knows everyone, I guess. It sounds really interesting, and it looks like kind of a sweater. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell. There you go. It looks like a sweater. The next book I have to show you is Being Friends with Boys by Tara Elon McVoy. And this is about a girl who's had a couple of guy friends for a really long time, and then a new guy comes into town and he finds her really attractive, and then her guy friends realize that they kind of find her attractive, but before that she was just kind of one of the guys. So yeah, it was really cheap at Chapters, so I picked it up. The next book I have is When You Were Mine by Rebecca Searle? I don't know. And this is kind of like a reimagined version of Romeo and Juliet, and it says, what if the greatest love story ever told was the wrong one? It just sounds really interesting. It's about this girl who was supposed to be with Romeo, but he ended up with Juliet. It says, it was supposed to be us together forever, and it would have been if she hadn't come along and stolen him away. Maybe then all of this could have been avoided. Maybe then they'd still be alive. And this is like, I'm pretty sure it's set in like modern day. I loved studying Shakespeare in high school, so I'm really excited to read this book. The next book is Winger by Andrew Smith. I saw this on Book Outlet and I thought I would pick it up. And yeah, it's just about a guy who goes to boarding school and gets bullied. Clearly, he does not have a good time at this boarding school. He's kind of cute though. He reminds me of Neil Patrick Harris. This next book is called Right Where I Belong by Krista McGee, and this is about a girl whose father divorces his third wife, and this is the wife that was always like so much of a mother to the main character. Her name is Natalia, and then so her stepmom, or I guess it would be ex-stepmom if they're divorced, she moves to Spain, and so Natalia is kind of sick of her father, so she goes with her, and it's just kind of about her readjusting to life in Spain, and I thought that would be really interesting. The next book is The Story of Us by Deb Coletti, and this is about a girl who, her name is Cricket, which I'm pretty sure is like kind of becoming like a popular name in books for people. But anyway, so her name is Cricket, and she was part of the perfect couple for forever, and they were supposed to be together forever, but then she does something that makes him break up with her. So yeah, I don't know, it just seems kind of interesting, like kind of a summary read, but maybe not like a super happy summary read. I don't know, it's just, it seems like a good book. The next book that I picked up was from Book Outlet, and that's Fire with Fire by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. This is the sequel to Burn for Burn, and the third book, Ashes to Ashes, comes out in September. So yeah, I just thought I would pick this up. The next book is Panic by Sharon M. Draper, and this is a really short book, first of all, so it won't take too long to read. It's about a girl who talks to a stranger, and then I'm pretty sure she gets like abducted or something. It says, Diamond knows not to talk to strangers, but just once couldn't hurt, right? So yeah, it seems like it's gonna be kind of a like abduction story. So yeah, we'll see. The next book I grabbed was That Summer by Sarah Dessen. And why are you not focusing on the book? Focus on the book, please. There we go. So I love Sarah Dessen. I love every book that she's written that I've read, and I have been kind of like slowly collecting her books. So this was one that I didn't have and it was on Book Outlet, so I thought I would get it. Next book is Fixing Delilah by Sarah Auchler. I've only read one book by Sarah Auchler, but I absolutely loved it, and that was 20 Boys Summer. So I saw this on Book Outlet and I thought I have to get it. So this is supposed to be about a story of family, love, and self-discovery. So I am excited to read this. I've heard good things, so yeah. Next book I grabbed was Meant to Be by Lauren Morrill, and this is a book that the cover has just caught my eye so many times on Book Outlet, but I just kind of put it off because I had never really heard anything about it, but I finally decided to pick it up, and this is the cover. So it's really, really beautiful. It's just about a relationship, I guess, like a meant to be relationship. So yeah, don't know a whole lot about it. And then also from Book Outlet I got 3 books by Lauren Barnhold. So the first 2 that I grabbed are actually companion novels, and they are Right of Way and Two-Way Street. Now from what I understand, these aren't about the same characters, but more like the same, I guess, secondary characters in the second one. I'm not 100% sure. So these seem like really great kind of summary books, so I can't wait to read them. And the third Lauren Barnhold book that I picked up was The Thing About the Truth. I was gonna say The Truth About Forever, but that is a Sarah Dessen book. So this book is clearly about like secrets or lies or something, and like a relationship. So yeah, just another kind of summary read, I think, and I'm excited to get into it. The next book I picked up was Sugar and Spice by Lauren Conrad. I now own the full trilogy, LA Candy trilogy. Yeah, I've only read LA Candy so far, so yeah, I'm just going to read the next 2 books maybe like when I'm camping or something, just really easy reads. So I did pick up another Sarah Auchler book, and that is Scandal, and this is a very new release, and it's about a girl who goes to, I think, prom or homecoming or something with her friend's boyfriend because her friend is sick, and they end up kissing because she has been in love with him for like years. So yeah, and then pictures of what she did and pictures of what other people did end up on Facebook, I think. So I'm not 100% sure if it's actually Facebook or if it's like this book's version of Facebook, but yeah, it's just kind of about like the power of social media and bullying through social media, like cyberbullying and stuff. So yeah, I want to read this very soon. Next book I picked up is Love and Other Perishable Items by Laura Buzo, and this actually won an award, and this is one that I've eyed for a little while on Book Outlet, and I just kind of decided to get it because I think that the cover is cute. Don't really know much else about it. And the last contemporary book that I picked up is The Beginning of After by Jenna Castle. So this is about a girl whose parents and brother are killed by her neighbor's father in a car accident, I think. Yeah, it just sounds like a really sad book, but I want to read it because it sounds really good. So now moving on to fantasy and fairy tale retellings and things like that. And the first book I have to show you is the one that I am the most excited about, and that is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Stories by Lewis Carroll in the Barnes & Noble Collector's Edition binding. Oh my god, it is so beautiful. I just love it. Pink and gold are like my favorite. It's my favorite color combination, so yeah. And even like in here is really cool looking. I'm so excited for this, and it goes right on my shelf. I will show you guys my little setup over here. And then I also own this little Alice in Wonderland little pocket watch thing from Etsy, and it's really cute, so I just kind of set it up next to the book because it's adorable. So that's what I do over there. It's my little sneak peek at my bookshelf tour, which is coming soon. The next book I bought was from Book Outlet, and that is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, and this is the celebration of the first edition. So this looks just like the very first edition of this book, and yeah, it's got like that little light brown kind of dust jacket, and then green with gold writing. So yeah, I read this when I was in the 4th grade for school and I loved it. So I'm really excited to own it. The next book I know I've already shown you, and that's Unhinged by A.G. Howard, the sequel to Splintered. And yeah, the cover is gorgeous. I love it. It's purple and green and just so pretty. The next book I picked up from Chapters, and that's because it was on sale for $5.99, and that's Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, the sequel to Cinder, part of the Lunar Chronicles. Yes, just so gorgeous. Love it. This next book is from Book Outlet, and that's Asunder, I don't know, by Jodi Meadows. So it's the sequel to Incarnate in this little trilogy. I'm pretty sure the 3rd book already came out, so I'll have to get my hands on that as well. But yeah, gorgeous cover. The next book is from Book Outlet, and that is Written in Red by Anne Bishop. And I saw this on there when I first started doing booktube videos and I missed out on it. So when I saw it again, I snatched it up. It's about a girl who's a blood prophet, and I've never read a book about a blood prophet before, so we will see what this is like. Also from Book Outlet, I picked up 3 books from the House of Night series, which you guys know I'm slowly collecting in hardcover. So the first one is Chosen, which is the 2nd book in the series. So yeah, Chosen. And then I also got Betrayed, which is one of the first few novels as well. And then I picked up a novella called Lenobia's Vow. This is really cute. It's like short and like skinny, and it's just really cute. So I can't wait to get the other novellas because I think that they are just adorable. These next 3 books are all fairy tale retellings by Alex Flynn. So the first one is Beastly, which I've already read, and I really enjoyed it. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I saw the movie, wasn't too impressed with that, but I liked the book. The next book I got was Cloaked. This might be the Princess and the Frog retelling. I'm not sure. It says something about a frog napping and a princess, so I'm going to assume that this is like the Frog Prince kind of thing. And the last one is Bewitching, which is actually, I believe it's like a prequel to Beastly because it's about the witch named Kendra who appears in Beastly, who turns him into a beast. So yeah, I'm excited to see what this is all about. It's about like her story, so that should be interesting. And the last fantasy book I bought was The Impossibility of Tomorrow by Avery Williams, and this I think is kind of like an alien book. I could be totally wrong on that. I'm just guessing, to be honest. I don't know. But yeah, it's got a pretty cover. That's all I know about it pretty much. So moving on to sci-fi and dystopians. First one I bought was Parallel by Laura Miller. So I believe this is supposed to be about like alternate realities. So yeah, it sounds really interesting, and I've heard really great things about Laura Miller's books. So I'm excited to read it. The next book I have here is Arclight, and this is by Jocelyn L. McQueen? I don't know. I believe this is part of a trilogy. I'm not 100% sure. Probably should have looked into that, but yeah, it's really cool. It's like got a rainbow on the cover. It's really cool. So yeah, this is just like your standard dystopian. I love dystopians, so I buy them all. Even if they all sound the same, I still buy them. Next book I got is Article 5 by Kristen Simmons, and this is part of a series. I know that they had the 2nd book, Breaking Point, on Book Outlet, but I haven't bought it yet. And this is like 3 years after a war has ended in the United States, so yeah, it sounds interesting. Next I have The Program by Suzanne Young, and this was on sale on the Chapters website for like $5, and I've heard really great things about this little series, trilogy, I don't know. So I thought I'd pick it up, and yeah, it's just, I believe this is the book that they think depression is like an epidemic. Even if you cry, they'll like put you through this whole program, the program, and they'll like wipe your memories away or something. So yeah, sounds really cool. And the next book is from Book Outlet, and that's Resist by Sarah Crossan, and this is the sequel to Breathe, which I also bought. I don't know if I bought it off Book Outlet or Chapters, but I did buy it pretty recently. So yeah, I'm excited to finally start this little series. So that is it for sci-fi. I'm now moving on to historical fiction type books, and there's only two to show you. So the first one is Prisoner of Night and Fog by Anne Blankman, and this is supposed to be about Hitler's niece. Now it's not like really based on fact, I don't think, but like there's facts throughout the story is kind of my understanding of it, and it's just kind of like an interesting look at what it would be like to be related to Hitler. So yeah, I've heard really great things about this so far, so I can't wait to read it. Another book that I bought is Ruby Red by Kirsten Gear. Now you guys may or may not know, but in a different haul video I hauled Emerald Green, and that was in this cover. I'll actually grab it right now. So this was on Book Outlet, and they have actually changed the covers. They're really ugly now. So I've been trying to get all of them in this cover, so I just need Sapphire Blue, and I'm trying to get them for as cheap as possible. So yeah, excited. Now I just need the second one, and then I'll have the complete trilogy. Now this isn't necessarily historical fiction, but it's like time travel, so I kind of consider that like to kind of be historical fiction, because you're like going back in time, so it's like historical. So now I'm going to get into the like adult fiction slash chick lit type books, and the first one that I have to show you is The Picture of Dorian Gray, and this is the Barnes & Noble special edition, collector's edition, and it's just so gorgeous. And this is a classic that I've been wanting to read for a really long time, and yeah, so I'm excited to read it, and it's just so nice feeling. I think it's like leather bound or faux leather, so yeah, really cool. The next two books I have to show you are both by Sophie Kinsella, and this first one is I've Got Your Number, and this was on sale for $9.99 on the Chapters website, and it's hardcover. I read this on my Kobo originally. I borrowed it from the library, so I'm excited to finally own it because it's kind of a cool cover. It's like little iPhone messages. So the next Sophie Kinsella book that I got is 20s Girl, and this is a book that I have read before. There you go. And this is about a girl who keeps seeing a ghost of a woman who's dressed like she's from the 20s, and it's a really fun read. I really recommend it. I actually own this in paperback, but I really wanted the hardcover because I think that this cover is really cute. These next two books are actually used, and the first one I bought off of Chapters. Now they have a section where you can order used books, and they didn't have this in hardcover anymore, so I went on there and I looked up the used books, and I found one for really cheap, so I ordered it, and it's in pretty good condition. It's just got some yellowing of the pages, but besides that it's in decent condition. And this next used book that I bought is actually from thriftbooks.com, and this one I have to clean off because it's got like label residue on it, but besides that it's perfect. This is Heart of the Matter by Emily Giffen. This next book is by an Australian author, I believe, or maybe she's from New Zealand. I don't know. One of the two. Anyways, I have read a couple of her books and I absolutely loved them, and that is The Hypnotist Love Story by Leanne Moriarty. I think that she is a really great kind of like chick lit writer, and I saw this on Book Outlet and I had to get it. And the last kind of adult fiction book that I have to show you is Cult by Warren Adler. And this was actually sent to me by Warren Adler's like PR representative. He sent me a message and he said he loved my videos, and he asked if I would accept a book for review. So this is a book about, it's a fiction novel about these people who end up in this like church cult. And I guess it's kind of like a look at what makes people join cults, because like you look at cults and you're like, why would anyone join that? That's crazy. But then you have to kind of think about what they might have been going through. Maybe they were very vulnerable, that kind of thing. So I think that's what this book kind of delves into, but in like a fictional sense. So I'm excited to read it. So that's it for the adult fiction. Now moving on to nonfiction. I only have two nonfiction books to show you. And the first one is Marilyn Monroe, The Final Years. And this was on Book Outlet, so it was a really good price. And I love Marilyn Monroe, so I thought I would pick it up. And yeah, it's just about her final years, I guess. And the other nonfiction book that I bought off of Book Outlet is Beauty by Lauren Conrad. And so this was on Book Outlet for, I think it was $7.99, which is kind of expensive for Book Outlet, but still really cheap when you're talking about like a hardcover book. And I really want style in hardcover, but it's so hard to find. It's just kind of like beauty tips, I guess. Like there's everyday makeup chapter, you know, stuff like that. So that's it for my June book haul. This was a huge book buying month, but that's because in July I am not buying like any books. Like I'm setting myself a limit at 5 books, and that's the most I'm going to be allowed to buy because I'm going camping for a week and I have other things going on that I need to pay for. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I think it's gonna be kind of long. I'm gonna try and edit it down as much as possible. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!